So in our last lesson, we talked about shopping trends or shopping habits and how shopping habits have changed, from long ago and how they are now today. So we talked about this. We also talked about how shopping in the 70s was very different. And we mentioned that men used to sit in special rooms and they used to wait for their wives to finish the shopping. But this has changed. Now many men, just like the photo here, many men do their shopping, whether alone or with their kids. So this is a new trend, or this is a changing habit that wasn't present in the past. And we also talked about how to talk about past habits using used to. So if you want to talk about any kind of habit or something that happened in the past repetitively, something that happened more than once, you can always use used to. So for example, you can say people used to do their shopping, people enjoyed whatever. So there are people used to travel by horses. So here we're talking about things in which people do that they don't do anymore. This is the whole point of used to. So we talked about this rule, and we talked about the similarities and the differences between used to and the past simple. Because in the past simple, you can also talk about past habits. So I can say, for example, I listened to rock music all the time. I can say a sentence like this, or I can say it, I used to listen to rock music all the time. Rock music all the time. So these are two ways of talking about something that was a habit for me in the past. So when I say I listen to rock music all the time, or if I say I used to listen to rock music all the time, it's the same meaning. It's something that was true, it's something that was a habit in the past, and it's not true now anymore. It's over. So this is the idea. And we also mentioned that if you want, you can also use state verbs. So you can say, I used to like ice cream. I used to be a naughty child. I used to have lots of toys. I used to want to become an engineer, for example, but I don't anymore. So هذه كانت فكرة الدرس اللي فات. This is what we talked about. And I remember we did the exercise, the listening exercise. We listened to the difference, and there's really no difference actually in pronunciation, whether we're using the positive or the negative form. It's actually the same. If you're using a positive form, it will sound like this. I used to have a special room. I used to. You can see the phonetic symbol here. I used to. And even if it's in a question form or negative, it's the same pronunciation. I didn't used to. Used to. The same. There's no change. Men didn't used to have anything like that. Why did single women? Why did single men used to? Sorry. What did single men used to do? Used to do. So it's the same sound even when there's no D, even when it's in the question form or the negative form. So we talked about this. After we did the listening, we talked about these examples. So in these examples, you need to use used to. And we had some disagreement, I think, here, but after that we answered them correctly. So number 2, shops didn't used to sell frozen food in the past. Of course, here it's all about the 1930s. So this is almost 100 years ago, 90 years ago. So shops didn't used to sell frozen food. Most people most people used to drink tea, not coffee. Shops didn't used to give you plastic bags. There didn't used to be any supermarkets. People didn't used to, or sorry, people used to buy food every day. People didn't used to have credit cards, and people always used to people always used to take their own shopping bags. So all of these examples are past habits. And because this is from the 1930s, this means this is not true anymore. So this is the idea. And the last thing we talked about was this. We didn't finish it, which is vocabulary. How to use some, any, no, and every. This was the last thing we got to. We didn't talk about this yet. Anyways, let me read these four examples, these four sentences. Let me read them for you. It says, look at these sentences from the interview. Which words in bold talk about people, places, and things? Okay, I'm just going to read them first. Somebody bought their clothes for them. Men didn't used to have anything like that. Nobody's surprised anymore. Now you can buy them everywhere. So I need you to tell me, which sentences do you think talk about people? Which sentences talk about places? And which sentences talk about things? What do you think, Dua, from these four examples? Which ones do you think talk about people? Which ones do you think talk about places? And which ones talk about things, in your opinion? What do you think, Dua? Can you hear us?
Yeah. I hear you.
So
somebody talk about people.
Okay, that's right. So the first one is about people. You're right. What about the second one?
The second one, nothing talk about things.
Anything. Okay.
Any.
So this talks about things.
And nobody's talk about people.
Okay, that's correct.
Everywhere talk about places.
All right, that's actually correct. Yeah. So this is the idea. So the first question, they just want you to say what does each of these words talk about? So this means if we want to group them, we can group them into things that talk about people, like somebody or nobody. We can group them into things that talk about things, anything, something, everything, so on. Or if you want to talk about place, anywhere, somewhere, everywhere, right? So this means really, if we want to look at it, actually what decides these words is the ending, right? The suffix. If you have the ending body, somebody, anybody, nobody, it means we're talking about a person, right? But if you have the suffix thing, anything, something, everything, it means you're talking about a thing, right? Again, same thing here, because we have body, we're talking about a person. Everywhere, somewhere, anywhere, nowhere, we're talking about places. All right. So
we can also say someone or anyone, I think.
Yeah, we also have one. Someone, anyone, no one, everyone. Yeah.
For people.
It's also for people, like somebody. Someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, no one, nobody. Yes.
Anywhere.
Anywhere, or everywhere, nowhere, somewhere. So you can do it in different ways. And this is what we're going to do here in the second box, in this exercise here. They actually want us to complete the gaps. So here we're going to include all the other missing words. So here we have somebody, but for a place, what do we say? Somewhat.
Somewhere.
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 Yeah, somewhere. And for things?
Something.
Something. Plural or singular, it's the same. Something, somethings. What about any? Can we use it with place, with people?
Anybody.
Anyone.
anyone or anybody are correct. صح.
Anywhere. For
And
places.
places.
For places, anywhere, that's correct, yeah. Okay, what about no? How can we use it for places and things?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, nowhere for places. And for things?
Nothing. Or
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. He
Nothing.
likes nothing. And every, how can we use it with people?
Everyone.
That's
Everybody.
everyone is also correct, but here because we have body, so everybody. Okay. And for things?
Everything.
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 He hates everything, for example. All right, so this is how we can talk about these words. And here we have this tip in the bottom. If you check it, they're giving you the option here. They're telling you that it's, it's the same. If you want to say anybody, that's fine. If you want to say anyone, it's also fine. Nobody, no one, everybody, everyone, somebody, someone, they're it's okay. It's another option you have. Now, let's talk a little bit about exercise C, because they want us to complete these rules. The first rule, and let me show you what we need to use to complete the rules. So it says here, fill in the gaps in these rules with positive, negative questions. So they're going to ask us about the table that we just finished. Okay, this is what they want us to do. They want us to answer a few questions. The first point, it says, we usually use somebody, someone, somewhere, and something in what kind of sentences?
Positive.
That's right, Salma, yes. We use them actually in positive sentences. You're right. That's correct. So this means anybody, anyone, anywhere, and anything, we use them in something and something, right?
Negative question.
Yeah. Okay, just give me a second. Let me put away this noisy cat. Okay, sorry. So second point, we were saying about anybody, anyone, anywhere, and anything. When do we use them? With what? Should we use them with positive sentences? Should we use them with negative sentences? Should we use them in questions? What do you think? When do we use them? What do you think, Selma?
Again, your question.
That's it. So we use them in negatives and we use them in questions. So let me give you a few examples just so you can see how it works. So for example, you can say, okay, is there? So let's say you're knocking on the door and maybe it's a public bathroom, right? So you knock, is there anyone in here? Or is there anyone here? Or maybe you enter a new home and maybe you're looking for your friend, right? Is there anyone here? So this is a question, so you need to use anyone. But if you want to use a positive example, you can say, I've got something in my bag. So this is an example of a positive sentence. And if I want to use a negative thing, you can say, you can say, have you got, no, we need a negative, sorry. Got anything? Can you see this example? I haven't got anything to do. I'm so bored. I haven't got anything to do. This is what every Libyan says. I've got nothing to do. I haven't got anything to do, right? So this is an example of negative. So in negative, you can always use anything or anybody or any of these options. But in questions, but in positives, we usually use somebody, something, and so on. All right, so let's check the next exercise here. So here we're gonna, excuse me, here we're gonna use these two sentences, these two ideas. We're gonna use them to complete this exercise in number 9. So here you have to choose the correct answer based on the rules that we just talked about. So number 1, what do you think, Sophia? What should we use here? Used to buy. So you have two options. You can say anybody used to buy food in the supermarkets, or nobody used to buy food in the supermarkets. Which one do you think is the right answer?
Yes, 1 minute for thinking just.
Yeah, take your time. Think a little bit about it. Which one do you think we should use?
Nobody used to buy food in supermarket.
That's actually correct. You're right. You are right. Nobody used to buy food from the supermarket. That's actually correct. Okay, now what about number 2? What do you think, Samiha, number 2? What should we use here?
You could buy fresh fruit everywhere.
That's correct. You could buy fresh fruit everywhere. That's correct, yes. Salma, what about number 4? Which one would you use in number 4? Salma, are you there? Okay. Dua, what about number 4? Which one would you use here?
Okay, just a minute. There didn't used to be anything to do at the weekends.
That's correct. There didn't used to be anything to do. Because it's negative, we need to use anything. That's absolutely right, yes. Okay, great. What about number 5, Safia? Which one do you think is the right answer?
Okay. You couldn't travel anywhere by plane.
Correct. You couldn't travel anywhere by plane. That's right. That's correct. Okay.
Number 4 also used nothing, ولا?
Can you read it?
Number 4.
Yeah, read it for us.
There didn't used to be Yes, anything to do at double.
Anything, yeah, not nothing, because you in English usually you shouldn't use a double negative, so you cannot say there didn't used to be nothing to do. Do you get the idea? تقدر تقولي لو جاتك positive تقدر تقولي there didn't used to sorry you can say there was nothing to do. نفس المعنى, but you can use nothing this way.
Yes. There was nothing.
Okay, so what about number 6? Did we get to number 6? What do you think the right answer is? Asafia, you answered. جاوبتها بتاع البلين. ها سميحة? So here we have number 6. What do you think the right answer is?
Everyone used to use the same currency as they do now.
That's correct. Everyone. So let me just mark the answers. You could travel anywhere by plane. There wasn't anything. Yeah. I think we forgot number 3. Or did we do it? Did we do number 3? Anyways, this is number 3.
Something.
Everything used to cost less than it does now. Of course, grammatically, you can say something, but I think the meaning is very different between saying everything and something here. So you can say something used to, but maybe it's better to say some things better than something, because it's not just one thing, it's a lot of things. So actually this means ما يقدروش نستعملوا something في كل حال. We have to say everything. Okay, now I want your opinion. Maybe you can start here, Samiha. Which of these sentences, in your opinion, do you think are true about Libya 50 years ago? So try to imagine Libya 50 years ago. So this means Libya in the 70s, right? So which of these do you think are true about Libya in the 70s?
I think number 3 is true.
Okay.
Number 4 also true. 5 also true.
Okay.
Number 5.
To you.
Okay.
Yes.
Who has any other ideas? What do you think, Dua? Do you think any of the other sentences are true?
Number
maybe?
5.
Number 5, you couldn't travel anywhere by plane?
I think number.
You also think it's true?
Yeah, I think it's true.
Okay, yeah, so you agree with Samiha.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Teacher?
Yeah?
What's the meaning of currency?
Where is it?
Currency.
Currency, it means the type of money, like dollars, pounds, dinar, lira, peso. Currency, yeah. Currency, it means the type of money, For example, the currency in Libya is dinar, but the currency in America is the dollar, and the currency in Germany is the euro, right? Do you get the idea? Currency.
Okay.
It means, the name of money or the type of money you use. This is the meaning of currency. So in Arabic, what is it, Dua, currency?
Currency. عملة.
Yes, exactly. This is the meaning of currency. Okay, very nice. So now we know how to use somebody, somewhere, nobody, anywhere. So these are some tips on how to use them. Now here, let's see this exercise. I think it is a speaking exercise. All right, so here what they want us to do is they just want us to tick the things that you used to do when you were 10 years old. So all we need to do is imagine when we were 10 years old and what are some of the things that you used to do. So did you spend hours playing video games? Did you spend hours reading? Did you have a favorite toy? Did you used to have a favorite TV program, and so on? So now what I'd like you to do, I'd like one of you to make the questions. And remember, because all these sentences are in the past, so we want to make, what's the questions, Emiha, that we should make? What do you think? How should we start them? How do you make yes?
Did you?
Continue. Did you?
Used to.
That's it. So all the questions should be like this. Did you? Used to? And then you can start with the phrases, because all of the phrases have infinitives. So let's divide them into two.
Make a question.
Sorry?
Make a question.
Yeah, you're gonna make a question. So here, Selma, you can start. You can ask Samiha these questions, and you can always start in the same way. Start here. Did you used to da, 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 and she will tell us about her childhood, okay?
Okay. Did you used to spend hours reading?
No, I didn't.
Did you used to have a favorite TV program?
Yes, I did.
Did you used to have a favorite toy?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Did you used to put posters of pop star?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Did you used to be quite shy?
Yes, I did.
Interesting. But what was your favorite TV program, or your favorite toy? Sorry.
My
Barbie?
favorite,
Was
so
the Barbie?
yes, Barbie and House of Barbie.
A Barbie
Course.
house?
Yes.
A doll house and a Barbie. Did you also have the husband? Did you have Ken, or just a single Barbie?
No, single Barbie.
So she was alone. She didn't have a husband.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have the car?
No,
Barbie
I
car?
didn't buy it. No.
I remember I broke so many Barbies from my sisters and my sister's friends. I broke so many of them. I usually break their neck, break their legs. I destroyed so many Barbies when I was 10 years old. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so Sophia and Dua. So Dua, you can ask Sophia these questions about her childhood when Sophia was 10 years old, and she can tell us a little bit. And you can start from the second half.
Okay. Sophia, did you used to get into trouble with your parents?
Did you used to get into trouble with your parents, Sophia?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Yes, I do.
Did you used to be good or bad at languages?
No, I didn't.
But here, this is a this is an if question. What would you? No, I didn't. What is it for the first question, Sophia? That you didn't get into trouble with your parents?
No, the first question, yes, I do.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So you got into trouble with your parents.
Yes.
Okay. And the second one, did you used to be good or bad at maths? You have to choose one of them. Sorry, I think she asked. Dua, you
Yes.
asked good or bad at languages, right?
No, I math. Yes, I do.
At languages. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, so here you have to.
I did.
You have two ways of answering this. You can say, I used to be. Did you used to be good or bad in maths? I used to be good at, and you just say what it is. I used to be good at languages, or I used to be bad at languages. لأن هي سألاتك الزوز. عرفت الفكرة؟ You get the idea, Sophia?
Sorry, doctor. First question, trouble. I mean, like trip.
No. Trouble, it means problems. Yes. You have problems with your parents.
Yes.
Maybe.
I think trip like
a
travel
trip.
or trip.
No. It wasn't
Yes.
travel, trouble.
Confused. Yes, confused.
So do you want to change your
no,
answer?
I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
But what about Dua's second question? She said, did you used to be good at languages?
No, I didn't. At math, okay, but language, no.
Okay. All right, next question. Dua, you can ask her the next question.
Okay. Did you used to play with your friends a lot?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you used to study hard?
Sometimes, no.
Not always, sometimes.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, now let's switch the questions. So now, Samiha, you can ask the first half and Dua can answer you.
Okay. Dua, did you spend hours playing video games?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you used to have a favorite TV program?
Yes, I used to have a favorite TV program.
Okay. Did you used to put poster of football players, footballers on your bedroom wall?
No, I didn't.
Did you used to be moody?
Yes, I used to be moody.
But are you still moody or did you used to be moody? There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm still moody.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, so now Sophia, you can ask the second half and Selma will tell you a little bit about herself when she was 10. So you can start, Sophia. You can ask the second half of the questions and Selma, you can, tell us a little bit about yourself when you were 10.
Yes. Did you get into trouble with your parents or teachers?
No, I didn't.
But you can, in your question, Sophia, don't forget to use used to. Did you used to?
Okay. Did you used to get trouble with your parents or teachers?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Did you used to be good or bad in math or language?
How can I answer? I choose bad or good.
Yeah, she asked you bad, only bad. She said, did you used to be bad at maths or languages when you were 10?
Yes, I'm too bad in math.
So only bad, but not but only maths, but not languages.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
okay. Mhm.
Okay. Did you used to play with your friends a lot?
Yes, I did.
Did you used to study very hard at school?
Yes, I did.
Good. All right. So here زي ما تلاحظوا قصة used to it's kind of optional because you can say, did you used to spend hours playing video games? And you can just say, did you spend hours playing video games? Because like I said, there's a very close relationship between used to and the past simple. They're not very different. It's, you know, they're very similar to each other. So if you say, for example, I used to smoke, it means you stopped. I used to smoke. It means you don't smoke anymore, right? But you can say, I smoked. If you say it like this, I smoked, you know, it doesn't sound very, it's correct. Grammatically, it's correct. I smoked. But maybe if you complete it, you can say, I smoked for 10 years. It means you don't smoke anymore. لكن الهابتس مرات تجينا used to أحسن يعني I used to smoke for 10 years. So this was your habit for 10 years, but you stopped it. Do you get the idea? So used to and the past simple are cousins. They're very close. But the only difference is with the past simple, you can use it for one-time actions. You can say, I visited Egypt. But if you say I used to visit Egypt المعنى مختلف. لو مثلا فرضا لو قلت I visited yes, I visited Egypt in 2008. Okay, this has a meaning. But if you say I used to visit Egypt, what's the difference? Who can tell me the difference between these two examples? What do you think, Samiha? Is there a difference or are they the same? What do you think? I visited Egypt in 2008 and I used to visit Egypt in 2008. Do you feel they are the same or do you think they're different, these two?
I feel same.
Okay. Sophia, what do you think? Are they the same or are they different?
No, not the same. First, it just once.
Okay.
And the second, maybe repeat the visit or you will not visit again.
You're actually right, Sophia, yes. The second one, it means repeated. It means you went to Egypt more than once, right? It means more than once. This is the meaning. Do you get the idea,
Yes.
Samiha? So it's repeated. Anything that has used to, مجرد تشوفوا كلمة used to معناها الموضوع متكرر. It's not one time, impossible one time. You can't use used to for something that happens once.
But you said in 2008. What do you mean about repeated at the same year or
Yes.
repeated from this year?
No, repeated in the same year.
Mm-hmm.
This is the meaning. But if you say, let's make it even more interesting. But if you say, I've been visiting Egypt since 2008, So here I'm going to use
This one.
present perfect continuous. I've been visiting Egypt since 2008. Now we have another meaning, right? It means you started visiting Egypt for the first time in 2008, and you're still visiting it until today. Of course, we don't know how many times, or if it's once a year, twice a year, once every 2 years. All we know, it's repeated, and it's going on from 2008 until today. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
بس الأخيرة اللي هي I used to visit Egypt in 2008, we are only talking about 2008, only. Because in
Repeated more
2000,
times in this year.
yes, it's repeated in 2008. This is the idea. Okay, so this lesson is all about, it's all about used to, how to use used to, and what's the relationship between used to and the past simple. So now let's take a look at our next topic. So here in our next lesson, we're going to talk about a topic which I think all of you will enjoy because it's about fashion. So who likes fashion and, you know, fashion shows, designers, I don't know. Who likes this? Is there anybody? Maybe the better question is, who doesn't like fashion? Is there anyone who doesn't like fashion here? Or do you all like fashion? And what do we mean by fashion? Who can explain, what does fashion mean? In English, of course. What do you think fashion means? You can try. What do you think, Selma? Fashion. Have you seen this word before? Fashion? What about you, Dua? What do you think when we say fashion?
Fashion, like maybe
Clothes, maybe new clothes, maybe your style, maybe, and
New
colors,
Okay,
beautiful things in fashion,
that's correct.
maybe.
That's right. Yeah, this is the idea with fashion. So we're talking about
Yeah, I
new
think.
designs, new clothes. That's the idea. All right, very good. So now you can see here we have a few questions about fashion. So so here, I'd like your opinion. What do you think, Samiha, about fashion and clothes in Libya? Are they very important? Do you think they're very important?
It's not very important, I think. Maybe it starts to be slightly important these days, I think.
So you think it's only recent, so it's becoming more
Yes.
more important. But when do you think this started?
I think
this
it
change?
started when people started to use social media more than before. Social media now is full of fashionistas and a lot of bloggers. People follow them and try to be like them, I think.
So you think because of the influence of bloggers and vloggers and YouTubers and these fashionistas and fashion influencers, you think clothes are becoming more popular in Libya?
Yes.
Good point. Interesting point. But do you think a lot Libyans spend too much on clothes? If we're talking only about Libyans, do you think we spend too much on clothes?
No, in general, no.
Sophia thinks
no. I think they spend.
You think they
but
do?
not too much, but they spend.
Not too much.
I mean,
original market, original brand.
more of their money is
Spend
in
about
clothes, I think.
What do you think, Sophia? You said that you said Libyans don't spend too much on original brands, and
Yes.
no,
Yes, yes.
they don't.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
I agree.
With the
What do you think, Sophia?
I think with the comparison with another country, another not too much for a brand and expensive.
Okay, so if we're talking about luxury brands or expensive, or هذا عادة يسموا فيهم هي مكتوبة designer labels. Can you see this word, designer labels? This means an expensive brand,
Yes.
like Louis Vuitton, like Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Armani, Versace. These things, these are called designer labels. So they're usually, of course, very expensive. And you're saying that Libyans don't spend a lot on these brands.
Yes.
But why do you think we don't spend a lot on designer labels? In your opinion?
I don't know. Even they have money not spent. That's a culture, environment.
So you think even the rich people don't spend too much on designer labels?
In comparison with another country, not too much.
Interesting.
Like Al Khalij or another.
Good point. Very good point.
I agree with you.
Duat, what do you think? You also agree? You think Libyans don't spend too much on designer labels?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Libyans spend for a lot of Libyans people buy a fake brand.
Fake brands.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think this means that clothes are not very important in Libya?
Yes, maybe.
So Sophia thinks they're not very important. And you also agree, Dua, you think clothes aren't...
I think maybe for people important, but not for maybe the country.
You're saying
maybe
that for, not for everyone. They're not important for everyone, but for some people they are. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you.
Okay, so this means maybe compared to other countries like in the Khalij, in the Gulf, maybe people there spend more.
Also, this market of Gucci and the Louis Vuitton, not in Libya, ما فيش brand, original brand in Libya.
Of course, yeah.
We don't have in Libya.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we don't have.
كلها copy يعني مش.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you, Sophia. You said even rich people, they don't buy them, and rich people travel, but even when they travel, I don't think Libyans buy these things a lot. Even when they go to Italy, France, Turkey, they just watch.
There is Libyan buy, but not too much.
Yes. A few, very few.
Very few.
Do you agree with this, Semiha? Do you think this is true, or do you think Libyans do buy designer labels?
No.
No, you also think not a lot of people buy them?
Yes.
Okay.
Libyan people not interested in this thing, I think.
Yeah, not too much. They're not interested very much. Okay, now I have a question for you. How many designer labels can you name? Let's make a list. Let's see how many you can think of. When we say designer labels, how many? We have Gucci. What else do we have?
Giorgio Armani.
Yeah.
Giorgio Armani.
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
Marc Jacob.
Marc Jacob.
Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein.
Chanel.
Chanel.
Yes. Versace.
Versace.
Prada.
Prada. We've got 8 now.
You need 10.
I need Yves Saint Laurent. Dior.
Yeah. Aldo.
Aldo.
Not
I-
really.
Brand.
No,
I think Aldo brand, not designers labels.
Yeah, I think Aldo and Mango and Zara. These are. There's a name. They give them a name, but they're not. They're not designer labels. They're kind of in the middle.
Dolce and Gabbana.
Dolce and Gabbana is another one. 11.
Boss.
Burberry.
Boss. Bulgari. Yes. Boss. Bulgari. I'm trying to look here. Cartier. I'm looking at my fragrances.
Lacoste.
Lacoste is a bit of a sports designer label, but we can say designer label, but more focused on sport, I think. Yeah. Anyways, you get the idea. So I think 12 is enough. 13 is enough. Okay, so now we're going to read a very interesting story, and I don't know if you have. Do you have any information about the Gucci family or the Gucci story? Has anybody read about them before? No? Any information? Oh, okay. So I think you'll be quite surprised when you read about the history of this brand, this designer label, and the family and how it all started. So I'm going to give you a bit of time. Take a few minutes. And I want you here to check, what does it say? Fill the gaps A to F, the family. Okay, so you have to read there. Okay, so take a few minutes, read the story of the Gucci family, and then we'll answer some of the questions together, okay? So you can start here, and whenever you're finished, just let me know, okay? So we start here. And this is where it ends. خير يا حبي، كيف الحال؟ فيه شو في بعد كذا. السلام عليكم. ايوه بعت لك على الفيسبوك، شوف المسج اللي بعته لك. Has anyone finished? Or not yet? Have you finished, Samiha?
Not yet.
Ah, okay.
I finished.
Sophia, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay, Salma, Dua, have you finished?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What do you think of this story of the Gucci family? Is it a happy story?
No, sad story.
No, sad story.
No. No. Not
Yeah,
happy story.
I agree. I don't think it's a happy story. What do you think of the members of the family? Do you think they're nice people?
Unlucky people.
Unlucky.
No.
What about Patrizia in the end? What do you think of what she did? What did she do, Patrizia? The wife of Maurizio.
Yes, kill Maurizio.
Killed him.
Did she kill him?
She did.
No,
Yeah.
by gunman.
Gunman, not she.
Okay. So, but how did the gunman kill him?
Her ex-husband.
Yes. So the gunman killed her ex-husband. What do you think of this? Is it a nice thing to do to your ex-husband?
No.
No. But who would hire a gunman to kill their ex-husband? Would any of you do this? No.
What's your question, please?
My question is a joke. So my question is, do you think it's okay? Would any of you do the same thing that Patrizia did, to hire a gunman to kill your ex-husband?
No.
He married another.
I think this is disaster.
This is a disaster. I agree with you. I actually think I think it's very bad what she did. Okay, so it's bad, but in a funny way, right? Because she didn't kill him. She didn't order to kill him when they were together, right? She did it when he divorced her. Why do you think she did this? Why do you think she didn't get him killed while they were married? Do you think maybe she was upset? Any guesses? What do you think, Samiha?
I think for money, maybe.
Maybe for money.
Yes.
If he dies, then she can get the money.
Yes, maybe. Oh, but they was divorced.
Yeah, but they're divorced, so it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to make a difference, right?
Yes, yes.
What do you think, Sophia? Why do you think she wanted her ex-husband dead?
Also, like to take or to grab her money, his money.
But how can she get money if they are divorced? Do you think maybe maybe they have a child together and she wants more money for her and her children? Do you think this is the idea?
لا مش موضوعهم لكن
Just money.
just money.
Mm,
I don't know, but
Maybe there's a problem in the past.
Maybe a problem
maybe
in the
doesn't
past.
want divorce.
She doesn't want to be divorced.
Yes, she doesn't want to be divorced. Yes.
Okay, what do you think, Dua? Why do you think she did this?
I think she did this because she wants
Because
his money, and I think she wants his money
only
and
because
his
of
job.
money and his job. Okay. Have you seen her picture before? Let me see if I can find her. Trying to look for her photo. Let me just share very quickly a photo of her. Here she is. Can you see her? Here?
Yes.
This is Patrizia. Can you see her? This is after she left prison. And this is also a new photo after she left prison. But this is
She looks dangerous.
she looks dangerous. Yeah, this is when she was younger, and this is Maurizio before she killed him. So this is Maurizio Gucci, and this is when they were younger.
Maurizio.
Yeah, poor Maurizio, I agree. Okay, so let's talk a little more about the Gucci family. And now let's take a look at the questions. So here it says, true or false? You need to decide if these sentences are true or false in your opinion. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So it says here, number one, Gucci design clothes. What do you think? Is this true? Did he design clothes? The first Gucci? Did he design clothes?
It's leather bag.
That's right. He made leather bags
No.
and suitcases. That's correct. So he didn't design clothes. That's correct. Okay, what about Rodolfo? Rodolfo was good friends with Paolo. Is this true? Was Rodolfo good friends with Paolo?
No.
Where does it say? Yes, that's correct. So Paolo didn't get on well with Rodolfo. Okay, that's correct. So no. So number one is false, and number two is false. Let's answer them. So false, false. Okay, what about number three? Paolo wanted to start his own business. Is this true? Did Paolo want to start his own business?
Yes, true.
That's
Yes.
true. He did. He wanted to do this, and the rest of the family didn't like it. Okay, what about number 4? Paolo gave information about his father to the police.
Yes, true.
Yes, this is actually true. He hated his father so much that he told the police his father wasn't paying enough tax. So it's true. Okay, then it says Maurizio was a successful businessman. Is this true? Was he a successful businessman, Maurizio?
False.
No, false.
False.
Wasn't.
He was
False.
actually a very bad businessman, right? How much money did the company lose that year?
$60 million.
60 million.
That's a huge amount of money. So he was a bad businessman. So, and then it says Patrizia shot Maurizio.
60 million.
60 million. The company lost 60 million. All right. So what about the last point? Is this true? Did Patrizia shoot Maurizio?
False.
False. She didn't shoot him, but she did get him killed, even without shooting him. All right. So now we talked a little bit about the Gucci family. So here, I think the question that we missed is we want to fill in the family
shot
tree.
like kill يعني.
Kill with a gun, with a bullet, with a gun.
Shot.
Gunshot.
Oh, okay.
So shot is the past of shoot. Shoot, shot. يعني shot مرات تجينا كnoun. If you say a gunshot, you can say I heard a gunshot.
A shot.
So here we're using shot like a noun. I heard a gunshot. But if you use it like in the sentence here, Patrizia shot Maurizio. So here we're using it like past simple. لأن shoot irregular. Shoot, shot, shot. So it's an irregular verb. Shoot, shot, shot. Okay, so I think this question is, maybe we can skip it. I think it's a little stupid. They just want us to complete the family tree. You know, here we have a date. Let's skip this. Let's take a look at our vocabulary lesson, vocabulary exercise. This one is important and I think it's quite interesting. So here we're going to learn a few rules on when to use the article a and an, when to use the article the, and when to use no article. So I think there's a condition or a situation where you need to use each one. Okay. So here in the first situation, it says we use a or an with jobs, like for example, designer, or to talk about a person or a thing for the first time. So we need to go back to the article, and I want you together, we want to look at an example of where they talked about a person or a thing for the first time using the article a or an. So let's take a look. So of course I want you to focus on the bold words, just the bold words. Can you see the bold words? Yeah, this is what I want you to focus on. So let me remind you very quickly. Designer, this is a job, we found it. Now I need you to find another example of a noun where we used the article a or an to talk about something for the first time.
Small shop.
A small shop? Is that what you said, Samiha?
Yes.
That's correct. Because after that, what did they say?
The shop, we know.
Right.
Wow,
So now we know what shop they're talking about, right? So that's correct. So here, to talk about a person or the thing for the first time, the example we have is a small shop. Okay, now we use the to talk about a person or the thing for the second time. So we already did this. We already found it, right?
Yes.
What was it?
The shop.
Yes, the small shop. All right, but there's another two ways of using the. So it says here that we can use the when there is only one or one in a particular place. So here I want you to look for something unique where there's only one of it. There's only one of a kind. Do you get the idea?
Like
So,
the sun made.
like the sun, the earth, something like this. Can you find a word like this where we're talking about something unique or something that there's only one of a kind of?
The head.
The head. The head of Gucci. Correct. The head, because you only have one head of a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the gunman.
No, here I think the gunman is the second time. Because here,
No.
can you see? We have a gunman, and then we say the gunman. So we use the because we're talking about it for the second time, right? So the head is actually correct. So here we have the head.
The worst.
And the world. That's correct. The same thing with the world. So the head and the world are both correct. Okay, now I want you to look for a superlative, because with superlatives we also use, that's correct, the worst. The worst, you're right. There's another one. There's another superlative. Can you find it? It also has the.
Very good businessman. Very good.
Very good. This is not a superlative.
The most.
That's it.
Most famous.
The most famous. This is another superlative. So we have two superlatives. We have the worst and we have the most famous.
The most.
Yeah. Okay, so let's write it. So the most famous. Very nice. Now, last group. So in this group, we want to look for words that have no article. We don't use the, we don't use a, we don't use an. And we have this in two different situations. One of them is to talk about people or things in general. Okay. And the other one is for most cities and countries. So we want to look for something general and we want to look for cities and countries. Let's take a look. So here I want you to look for a noun with no article. What do you think, Dua?
Just a minute. My internet is weak. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, I want you to look for a noun that doesn't have an article. No article.
Okay. Okay. A noun does it have an article? America. I think.
Correct. This is one of them. Yes. And
Italy.
Italy also.
Products.
Products. And the last one?
Clothes.
Yes, clothes.
Clothing.
Yeah, so for clothes and products, why didn't we use an article for clothes and products? What's the reason?
Things in general, I think.
That's it, F, yeah. Because we're talking about things in general. So if you're talking about things in general, you don't need to use an article. What about America and Italy? Why didn't we use an article?
Countries.
Yes, for most countries, there's no article.
Countries.
Yeah, so you say Libya, you say Italy, but we also say the United States.
The United States.
The UK. Why do we use the here? with the United States and with the UK? What's the reason?
It's not the name of the country exactly.
It's not the name of the country?
The United States.
The United States of America, the United Kingdom. Because
multiple plural.
That's actually kind of right, yes. Because when we say the United States of America, this is a group of states, not just one.
Yes.
So when you have a group, we sometimes use the. The same thing with the United Kingdom. You don't have one country. You have England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. So you have a group together, right? And the same thing for the Emirates, the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, right? Because you have more than one
So
emirate.
clothes and bags are a particle, not
Sorry? What's
you
your question?
said clothes.
Mhm.
Clothes, it's particle, not article.
Article, no article with clothes. Because we're talking about something in general when we say clothes. Do you get the idea? If you go back to the article and نرجع للقطعة, can you see? Lots of people love buying clothes. Can you see this? So here we're not talking about one kind of clothes, you know, clothes in general, بصفة عامة. If you're talking about something in general, بصفة عامة عادة ما فيش article. مش هتستعملي لا لا ذا. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
All right, so these are some of the rules when we can use a and, the, or no article, okay? So we have three groups. So we use a and an to talk about jobs or to talk about something or someone for the first time. We use the to talk about something for the second time, if there is only one of it, one of a kind, and with superlatives. We don't use an article if you're speaking generally about something, or if you're talking about not every country or city, but most. Tripoli, Benghazi, Sirte, you know, all of these are cities without anything. We don't use any article. All right, so in our next question, it says, look at the rest of the article, match words, phrases to each rule. There is one more. Okay, I think we did this together. So this means you can find one word in this group and one here. This means there are two for each one. So let's quickly do this together one last time. So here, I'm just going to put a box around each one. So this way we have two. So the first two, I can see clothes and products. And the reason there's no article is because these are general items, okay? Then we have the most famous and the worst. The reason we use the is because these are superlatives. Then we have the world, the head. The reason we use the is because this is one of a kind. There's only one world and there's only one head of a company. Then we have Italy and we have America. There's no article here because these are countries and most countries don't use an article. Then we have a designer and we have a very good businessman. These are jobs, and for jobs we need to use an article. So we say a doctor, a teacher, a driver, a businessman. Then we have a small shop and we have a gunman. We used an article because we were talking about this thing for the first time. And if you want to talk about it for the second time, we just add the shop, because now we know which shop they're talking about, and the gunman, because we know what gunman we're talking about. So these are some of the rules of when to use articles and when not to use articles, okay? Now, before we finish our lesson, I want us to listen to this very interesting story of Gianni Versace. Does anybody know the story of Gianni Versace? Has anybody read about it?
No.
No? Samiha, have you read about his story, his life story?
No.
No. Sophia, same thing?
No.
Okay, so I think you're going to enjoy this story.
Sorry,
So,
Doctor. And
sorry?
what about the shop and the shop? Can you repeat?
About which one? The shop?
Yes, a small shop and the shop article.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to ask, is my voice clear? Samiha, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
There's no choppiness. صوت كويس واضح?
Yes.
Okay. So here, Sophia, can you see a small shop?
Yes.
So خلينا نبدأ من بداية الجملة. شو قالت هي بدايتها؟ He was a designer who made leather bags and suitcases, and he had a small shop in Florence. Full stop. Can you see the full stop?
Yes.
Yeah. بعدها بنبدأ جملة جديدة. The shop was the beginning of the Gucci family.
Yeah.
So here when we say the shop, we're talking about the same shop. But we can't say a shop anymore. ما عادش نقدر نقولوا خلاص أصبح الشop معرف. Do you get the idea? So when you talk about something for the second time, you have to use the. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
Yeah. ونفس القصة مع a gunman, the gunman. نفس الفكرة. All right? Okay. Now, let's check this interesting story. So here, I want you to read about Gianni Versace, okay? So here, let's read the question first. It says, read about another Italian fashion designer, Gianni Versace. Fill in the gaps with a, the, or no article. So this means we're gonna use these rules that we talked about, these rules here in exercise 4. We want to use them in exercise number 6. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. I'm going to give you some time, and I need you to make a decision. What should we use? An, the, no article. So this means in reality have how many options? 4 options. Let me write your options here so it becomes easier to remember. So these are your options. So you can use a, you can use an, you can use the, you can use no article, depending on the situation, okay? So take a few minutes and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Has anyone finished? Sophia or Dua? Not yet. Have you
Yes.
finished? Have you
Yes.
finished? Yes. Okay, let's see your answers first before we do the listening to check. Okay, so let's divide it so all of you can get a chance to read. Okay. Okay, so here, where's the red color? Okay, so let's divide it this way. Okay, so Sophia, you can start first. Start from the beginning.
Gianni Versace was born in 1946 in a town.
1946.
Yes, 1946 in a town called Reggio Calabria.
Reggio Calabria.
Yes.
Mhm.
Even when he was a child, he loved the clothes.
Okay. Do you want to use that?
Yes,
Okay.
the clothes.
Continue.
When he was 25, he decided to go to the Milan to become a fashion designer.
Okay. And number 5, what do you want to use?
No, go to Milan.
Without that.
Yes.
Okay. So no article. You want no article.
Yes.
Okay.
To become a fashion designer.
So you want here in number 5. Okay. All right. Samiha, what about the next part?
Okay. Stop where?
Fashion design.
Okay. And in 1982, he won his first award for being the best designer of. I don't know this. I think of women's clothes.
No article.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
He created a new perfume for men called Versace El Hamon in 1984.
Versace Long. This is French.
Long, okay. In 1995, he organized a party with Elton John to raise money for an AIDS patient.
Do you want to use Anne?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Dua, you can continue from 11.
I will change it to that.
You want to change it for that, number 10?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Dua.
Okay.
So you can start from at.
At the party. Okay.
Continue at the party.
At the party, he signed.
Signed. The G is silent.
Okay. Copies of his new books, Men Without Ties, and give all the money from a book to charity.
Okay.
On July in July 15, 1997, Versace was murdered in Miami.
No article.
No article.
Okay.
Nobody really knows the reason why he was killed.
Okay, so are you ready to listen to your answers, everyone? Or do you want to make any changes first?
For me, for my part, I'm not sure for 7 and 10. I think both of them wrong.
Okay.
I'm confused with the plural. I don't know what can I use.
Okay, so let's listen and find out. Let's see. So we need to go to track, where is it? Track 19, CD3, track 19. Let's take a look. CD3, track 19. Okay. So here it is.
Track 19. Gianni Versace was born in 1946 in a town called Reggio Calabria. Even when he was a child, he loved clothes. When he was 25, he decided to go to Milan to become a fashion designer. And in 1982, he won his first award for being the best designer of women's clothes. He created a new perfume for men called Versace L'Homme in 1984. In September 1988, he opened the first Versace shop in Madrid, Spain. In 1995, he organised a party with Elton John to raise money for AIDS patients. At the party, he signed copies of his new book, Men Without Ties, and gave all the money from the book to charity. On July the 15th, 1997, Versace was murdered in Miami. Nobody really knows the reason why he was killed. But 9 days later, a man was found dead on Miami Beach. The police believe he was Versace's murderer.
Okay, so it's another tragic story, right?
Who said in the last?
No, this was an extra part, not written. They said
Yes.
after 9 days, they found a man. After nine days after Versace was killed, they found another man on the beach, also dead, and the police thought that he was the murderer of Gianni. They thought he was the one who killed him.
Okay.
Okay, so we have how many mistakes? We have 1, 2, 3. Only 3 mistakes, which I think is very good. So number 3, what's the correct answer?
Everyone have one mistake.
Nothing.
Yes, each one has 1 mistake.
Yes.
That's correct. Yes. So this one, number 3, how can we correct it? What should we write in number 3?
Not clothes. No article.
No article. But why? على حسب القاعدة اللي قلناها. Why don't we?
General.
Yes, exactly. We're speaking generally. If you're talking generally, no article. تمام? That's correct. Okay, number 10. Why is it wrong? What's the correction?
No article for
Correct.
AIDS patients.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right? We're speaking generally about AIDS patients. So no article. And 13, what's how can we correct it?
From the book. The book. We talked it before.
Because,
second time.
Yeah, this is the second time we talk about the book, right? Dua? Can you see the first time here we talked about the book for the first time, his new book. Can you see it?
Yeah, okay, I see now.
So we're talking about the same book, نفس الكتاب. But this is
Doctor, no, why not for an AIDS patient and?
because we
plural.
can't use an with plural. هذه نقطة.
Yes.
And we can't use the لأن ما تكلمناش عليها من قبل. So yeah. Do you get the idea? Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. So this is a little introduction on